Yeah, I mean it could be the same story, which is it's been time has passed and we're all there.
Yeah.
I guess if you want. I mean, like I said, like as long as it doesn't cause any other troubles, right? Because yeah,
Um,
it depends. Like, because I mean, like when you like, because again, like the lawful evil character having it is fine because of being lawful evil. But if like the chaotic evil character is like, you know what, I take this box and it can grant me powers, I can just have everyone else go away and I can go back to my normal life, right? Like if Murderous wants to get rid of my character and anyone else like that, like,
Nah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's more
If a
like just
character
trusting the
just got rid of
players.
everyone and got everything he liked, he'd probably be just so bored he'd kill himself.
Yeah, it's more of trusting the players than the characters themselves.
Yeah.
yeah, the play. Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying like it's more trusting the players to make characters that are ways that don't want to do that, right? Instead of saying like I'm acting like it's gonna cause a problem with your character that they know this, right? Am I gonna be like, well, I'm just not gonna play my character properly so I don't mess the story up? It's like, well, we can just say you don't know about it. It's like, okay, that works too, right? So I'm acting like the more people that know about it, the more people have to can make their character around it, knowing you know this knowledge, but won't fuck the group up because you know this knowledge.
Nah, it wouldn't be an issue for my character.
Yeah, then it's fine then.
Yeah, wouldn't be an issue for mine either.
Okay, cool.
What about you, Ragnar?
I want it all.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
I have no problem with it, so
All right.
good.
Then that's just up to Shiro and Sage if they want to be connected to the box in some way. Then we can talk about that. Alright, so at this point, you have your characters, how they've met, and you have the box. From here, you have like places to go because Spike is the Inquisitor, and that character is getting brought to places for
You
work.
have a reason to adventure.
Yeah, you have a reason to adventure. You have the box, and you have your backstories.
Yeah, my character has the goal of finishing the war so they get their powers from the box, pretty much.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else we need to cover before we go into mechanics.
I think we're good. I mean, we can go into mechanics, and then based off mechanics, will probably give us more stuff, the reason for being who we are, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm going order cleric, so I can, you know, be order domain and be like, you know, law and order type deal, and yeah.
Yeah. So for stats, I've heard that you guys don't like the 46.
Well, no. We'd like the 46. It's just do it in different ways.
Yeah, we like the special version of 46.
All right. Well, what's the special version of 46?
So
I already told you, Spike, do it again.
okay, so in I guess almost every game right now, is there any game? I guess all the games that I'm influent or have influence over, kind of like we've done it like. My normal way was we roll the 4D. This is from second edition standards combat and tactics or whatever, but is you roll the 4D6. Normally, if your score is 72 or lower, you can re-roll. If your highest stat is 13, you can re-roll. You can do as many times as you want, mainly because it makes it to where you have an average of the point buy of 72 pretty much. So I think the new point buy is like 70, 71, but so it's like a little bit over average, but
72.
something like that, whatever. So, but it's just the best mechanical way of doing it to make everything fair. But it's the best mechanical way of doing it. But I don't like stats because if you roll really, really well, then you have a 15 plus in all your stats, and that's kind of boring, right? And if you want I want to be really good at one thing, and your highest roll is a 16, you're like, well, that kind of sucks. I can't be really good at this one stat. So the other way of doing it well is once you get this number, you add that number up. And that is your point buy number. You put all your stats at 0, and then you allocate your points where you want. So if you want, you can have like 2 20s, but then the rest of your stats might be like, 4s or 5s or 6s or 7s, right? And You get to pick your stats basically based off of how lucky you get.
Yeah, so similar
You
to
also
what
said,
happened
like
in
if you roll below
Chronomancer.
72, reroll or something like that.
Yeah, similar to Chronomancer, but there's a number behind it, right? It's not just however many stats you want.
Yeah, it's not just
Yeah, we do
it's
like
not
we,
just like
we say you can
anarchy.
have this way you can guarantee to get a 20 if you want to be good at something. But if you want to have like a 6 somewhere, you can easily put a 6 somewhere, and that just gives you more points to put other places. And then,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Essentially, you get to pick your stats, but you're still within range of things. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that because I like to pick my stats because I want to make sure I have the stats that I want to represent my character.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because if I say, oh, I'm a very charismatic, wise, and intelligent person, but my highest roll is a 14, my second highest roll is a 12, it's like, well, guess I'm pretty...
Never mind.
I'm pretty good at 2 things, because, I mean, that's better than a commoner, but I don't know, right? And it's like, I'm like, oh, I'm very charismatic with 12, and someone's like, oh, yeah, I just got really lucky, and I'm a barbarian with, like, 14 charisma. It's like, oh, so you're more charismatic than my character. Cool, that feels nice. It just feels awkward when you're trying to play a character, really. So that's why this way it works, because, again, I don't care about the mechanical value of stats. Like, personally in my games, when I remade 5th edition, I removed the stats, and I just have skills. Because I don't think you need stats. If you just say everyone gets +5 to hit and remove stats, you're fine. Like, +5 plus proficiency bonus, and yeah, whatever. You need stats. But, yeah, other than that, I just have stats for roleplay reasons, so...
Yeah. So, Ragnar, what's your opinion on that?
Since I've been on the server, I agree with Spike. The way he does it, it seems the easiest and fairest if you want to play your characters in a way.
It's a win-win. It's a win-win for everyone, because mechanically, the min-maxers don't want to have, like, 20s in their best stats and, like, 5s in their shitty stats and don't do anything. They're going to have fun with that, and then the role players can put their stats exactly where they want them. So, like, there's no downside to anyone.
Yeah. I didn't think there was going to be any, like, aversion to that. I just wanted to make sure. So, alright. So, we can go with that.
Another way of doing it is, instead of just rolling the 4d6, like, this way it's a little bit better. Like, it's a little bit more of an advantage for us, where you just roll 20, 24 d6. That's your number. This way, you don't get to re-roll if you get a low stat, but because of this way, it's re-rolling, it's getting rid of all the ones from the whole pool instead of that, right? So it's like the same-ish, kind of. I guess if your overall score is 72 or lower, you can just re-roll. You lose the 13 thing, right? But you get a higher chance of rolling something slightly better, so it's about the same, and this way you don't have to do the math. You can just, like, do this, watch, like I'll just do it once.
Yeah.
I got it exactly 72, right? So it always look like that, right?
24 d6 d6. I mean, that's simple.
So it's the same. It's just the idea that it's gonna have a bigger pull to get rid of your lowest 6, right? Like, for instance, if you got, like, if your first roll was 4 1s, you can only get rid of one of those ones, right? And then your next roll was 4 6s. You don't get rid of anything. This, it will get rid of the 4 1s if you got, like, 6 6, 6 6 the rest of the way. So it would be an overall better. And you lose out on the highest stat being the 13, kind of, because you don't have a... It's whatever. Yeah. It might be the same, just way people don't have to do math, but it's whatever. It might be a little bit better. I would have to, like, do the math to figure it out, but I assume this way's better. Because I got 72 or lower, I can reroll pretty much.
Yeah.
Maybe this way's not better? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, but mathematically, this should be better, right? Because
I would assume so as well, but yeah, apparently not. I'm
Guess
just
not.
rolling complete shit,
That's,
dude.
that's just really bad luck.
Hey, look at it as if you're playing.
One more time.
So the first one would be
You got 1 6 in that last roll. 24 d6.
That's a lot of twos.
Yeah, it's a lot of 2s. Yeah,
Yeah.
got 2 6s in the last roll.
Your first stat would have been 8. Second stat would have been 13. Third would have been
Would have been low. Yeah. Right. It's 8.
that's 2 8s and a 13. So yeah, and then it's trash. A 6.
There we go. See, there's a more realistic roll.
Yeah.
Ignore the 2 other ones.
Yeah.
No. The idea is if you get 72 or lower, you can re-roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I keep re-rolling until I get above 72. This way, my average roll is going to be average, right? So
Yep.
above average, yeah.
I mean, this way is simple and all right.
And you
So
just
we're
I just have
gonna-
84 points to put in my stats wherever I want to put them. Max stat 20, And I think you can't go below a 2, or you're technically dead in some things. I think if you're under a 2, you can't cast spells or speak in certain ones, right?
Yeah, if you have like I think it's if they're reduced to 0, like in
Yeah,
wisdom.
no. If you're
you
reduced to
can't-
0 in any stat, you're dead.
No, that's only with strength and con, isn't it?
No, I think
And
if you're
intelligence.
pretty sure it's almost every
I
stat.
thought with mental stats, when you're reduced to 0, it's just like you go catatonic.
I think Stupefy
what's the
puts you
difference?
at 2 of stats, right? And then you can't cast
You
spells.
mean
through that.
Feeble Mind? That's
I thought it was
that reduces
Stupefy.
your int to 1.
And then 8th level spell, Stupefy?
No, you're thinking of Feeble Mind.
Okay, Stupefy was the old version of it, I guess.
Yeah. Feeble Mind, you can't do anything, and your int is 1.
Okay. I think it's int and charisma, right?
No, I think it's just int.
Okay, maybe Stupefy was.
However, you can't talk intelligibly or communicate with others in any way. You can tell who is friendly or not, and you can attack people, but no casting spells and pretty much nothing of intelligence.
You get what I'm saying?
in other
That's
words,
a 1
you're
versus
a
a
zombie.
2, right? Like
Yeah,
1
in other
versus
words,
a
you're a
2.
zombie. Yeah.
Not that big of a difference. So, I mean, as I said, you probably shouldn't go below 4 and stuff.
You see, I got 70, so now I reroll. You see, I got 71, so now I reroll. You see, I got 54. What the fuck?
The 1.
Where's the better chance? You got a lot
Look at
of
all the
points.
1s and the 6s, right? I mean, we're just having bad luck.
There we go, 76.
Eesh. That's a
A
lot
lot
of
of 5s. Yeah, a lot of 5s, though. Pick up for those only 2 6s, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, at the end of every 30 days.
1
the
and done.
creature-
Look at this show off. Look.
The other day you got a 90.
I did. I got 90, 93? Was it? 93?
Yeah.
Time to start allocating.
I
Yep.
mean, I got the same stats. Okay, I don't have to scroll up. Does Ragnar have a character sheet? Because I don't see it. Or does everyone else have it?
Everyone should have a character sheet.
Yeah, I got one.
I
Yep,
don't
I
use
have
them.
I haven't named my
Have it
character,
everyone.
that's all.
There we go. Everyone can see that one now.
Nice, he has a token.
You can't see the other ones because I don't think
So I do.
Sage actually went into the roll 20,
Oh,
so I can't give Sage a character sheet, and the other one doesn't have anything on it.
is it Ragnar's?
I have a
Oh
character.
no, it's just that the name hasn't changed.
Yeah. Hey,
Alright.
I'm still working on a name for my character.
Alright, that's what confused me. Nico is Shiro's character, I believe. I see Shiro has put proficiency on everything.
Fun.
Very interesting.
Maybe he thinks that's how you do Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I mean,
What?
that's a setting. I can just put on a setting that's Jack of all trades.
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
need to
yeah.
know.
So wait, what did he do?
He just went into his character sheet and just selected everything as proficient.
Did he pick a race or a class?
He picked his name and his race. There is no class yet. The race is reborn, as we know. But yeah, let me just all players this so everyone can see that it exists. And yeah.
Okay, I'm done. Stats are done.
Yep, same.
Fuck. What do I put my last 4 stats in? My last 4 points. The fuck?
I went down. I went 20, 18, 16, 14, 12, 8. Down to bottom. Yeah. From below the top. Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Stats done.
Update HP. Good.
Level 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did we talk about like how we wanted to start with extra money or something like that? Because we're level 3.
Wait, we're level 3? Okay.
I was told that everyone wants to be level 3 because no one likes starting at level 1. So I assumed that everyone would be okay with starting at level 3.
I'm okay with starting level 1 because like by the book you get to like level 2 after the first session, level 3 after the second session, so it's just like whatever, you get to it so fast, I don't really care. But like, yeah, it does help you create your character in a better way, roleplay wise.
Get more identity.
Yeah. A lot of things don't make sense, right? Like, it's weird that if you're playing like this noble samurai type character and then you don't get samurai to level 3 in fighter and you're like, yeah, I'm a samurai, just not a samurai yet. It's like, okay. A lot of times classes give you your stuff like, I want to be a detective rogue, so I'm going to be an inquisitive rogue or something, but I'm not an inquisitive to level 3. I'm just a rogue. So a lot of the classes give you a lot of your character from 3. Some get it at 2, some get it at 1, right? Like sorcerers get it at 1.
Mm-hmm.
I was even thinking about that, like reworking classes to get your level thing at level 1. If I just move the fighters level 3 to 1 and 1 to 3, or 1 to 2 and then 2 to 3, right? So you get action surge at 3 and you get second wind at 2 and you get your... Like that would be probably too broken, just putting 1 point in the fighter to get, you know, battle master abilities.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much what I do is I just say my character is whatever subclass I intend them to be, and then I'm just like, yeah, I'm at this level, now I get this ability. I was still that thing the whole time.
Yeah, I don't even say my characters are a subclass, right? Like, I'm not saying like, oh, I'm a 1 cleric, whatever, sorcerer. I'm just, like, you know, a cleric of order or whatever, right? And story-wise, but yeah, it's whatevs.
Yeah, like, I'm not technically a necromancer till level 2, but I don't care, I'm a necromancer.
Even if you don't want to be a necromancer, you'd be like, I am a summoner of undead. You just like make up a new name for a title, right? Like a lot of my characters are mixed matched with so many classes that I'm just like, no, I'm me, right? And I'm just me. But yeah, so I wanted to know if we were starting with different amounts of money, so I know if I can buy my random crap that I want to buy.
So let me double check on something real quick.
So yeah, so the normal rules is you don't get anything to level 5, but does it really make sense? Because if, like for instance, let's say we start at level 1, right? And we were playing to level 3, and then a new player came in at level 3, you say, okay, you're level 3, you get starting gear, but then technically they would have less stuff than us because we would have earned stuff over the last 2 levels, right? I was saying, I think I do the way where if you're starting at higher levels, from 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, I guess, you would just take your you take your max amount of gold from your starting equipment or your starting gold, and then also you can roll for gold or take the starting equipment as well. You basically get 2 times starting money.
All right. So, yeah, I have the starting wealth by class up here. So, thing is like, which ones did you start out with first? Whichever one you started out with first, I guess you take that starting gold, and then
We
you
do
just double
something.
it.
Yeah, I was like, I could do something interesting. Like that might be too much gold. Like every time you level, for every level you have in a different class, you just roll their starting gold.
Yeah, just what you started with, the class you started with.
Yeah.
I would
Question.
just say that.
I
Yep.
did not make a starting gold for my class.
Fail. Shame.
Well, so
Rogue. I mean, rogue makes.
yeah,
sense.
I would probably have you do rogue. That would make more sense, which is a 44 times 10.
Roger, Roger.
So,
But what is? Do you have starting equipment for your character?
Yes.
so
What
roll
is the
12
starting-
d4 times 30.
Pardon?
So am I rolling 12d4 times 30, or are we just starting with the basic first level?
So you get your normal start. So if you want gold or if you want armor, that's up to you which one you pick. And then because we're starting at higher levels, you get your max amount of gold as well. So
Yes.
you can either roll and take the max, or take gear and take the max.
Okay, I gotcha.
Alright, so how much would I be? I'm a little confused.
What is your starting equipment? Like is it like leather based stuff like rogues and stuff like that?
Oh, give me a sec.
So whatever starting equipment matches, because like the roll of the dice are supposed to kind of be somewhere around
Oh,
the
well,
gear.
that's a complete lie because paladins.
I was gonna say martial characters. You know, right? In martial characters, you take the starting gear, and caster characters, you roll for gold.
Mhm.
Because like the starting gear for martial characters is ridiculous.
What the killer starts with is a simpler martial weapon of your choice, 4 daggers or a hand crossbow with 20 bolts.
Yeah, it's rogue. So far, it's rogue.
Okay. It's pretty close. Burglar's pack or Dungeoneer's pack, and then either a disguise, poisoners, or thieves' tools.
Armor?
No.
Okay, so like no leather armor or something like that. Yeah,
They
I
don't,
guess this
they don't
is
start
rogue.
with leather. They don't start with armor, but they're proficient with light.
Okay, yeah, so it's probably just rogue starting stuff.
Yeah.
Starting gold or whatever.
But we're doing some weird maximum thing. 'Cause
Yeah,
we're-
so
explain that to me like I'm a little kid, because I'm
So 4D, what is rogue starting gold?
44 times 10.
It'd be like basically you rolled 4 4s and then you times it by 10.
Okay, so exactly what I did in my game when you guys started.
What I
your-
told you to
Take
do.
your gear with your max money. Okay.
Yeah, what I suggested you to do. That's why I'm suggesting it again. Yeah.
Did you suggest that to me?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I came up with that myself.
No, I suggested that one. I was asking like, should we start with like they start with different stuff? And you're like, nah, they can start with the normal stuff. I'm like, you sure? Because we have some stuff. I mean, like I can give you the rules for it. He's like, yeah, but I was like, we can just have them start with extra like in the max amount of gold or something like that. But
Okay,
yours,
so-
yeah, you settled on just giving them the maximum amount. I was saying to give them, yeah, whatever. But yeah.
Okay, so I should be starting with 160 extra gold if that's the case.
Yeah, 160.
Yeah, 16 times 10. Yeah.
So 160, then you have the choice of taking your equipment or rolling again.
Oh my god, gold's gone. I'm buying a carriage and horses.
I'll just keep my gear. Though of course we can expend money before the game, just right.
Yes.
Hopefully, yeah, you're supposed to. Yeah, you're supposed to use the money to buy your starting stuff. If anything, I think you should have a rule where you don't get to keep the money. Like the idea is your background supposed to give you your spending money, like what you have to start off with, and any gold you have from your starting stuff is supposed to like have bought stuff. I usually do that. Like, yeah, you have X amount of things. Buy those things. If you don't get them.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if you have a magic item in mind,
You already know exactly what I wanted. I told you
Yep.
if we're doing the magic item.
yeah, you can get Chameleon's armor.
How much does that cost again?
100.
Okay, 100. Yep. All right. Boom. Chameleon armor.
I wanted to buy my floaty chair. Oh, and my my armor weave stuff or whatever it is. I don't know if it's magical or not, but
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Chameleon studded leather. Yeah. Now I can
to be
swap
fair,
my.
I guess I could just have chameleon armor too, right? Because that's the
Yeah.
Now I can swap my identity on a whim.
yeah. I guess that'll work for me too then, so I can have different dresses.
Now I can pull off my ultimate move in combat, where my character doesn't feel like fighting, and so he hangs back with Anastasia to protect her, and then just disappears, and then out of the bushes, it's that serial killer.
What a coincidence! That guy is gone and the serial killer's here now.
It's not the +1 chameleon armor, right?
Nah, it's just regular chameleon.
Regular.
Yeah, like the one I have it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, because it can be any type of armor.
Yeah.
So long as it's what you could get for your starting, I'd be okay with it.
Yeah, I guess.
So if you're doing cleric, yours would be like scale mill.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you like starting off with plate.
Oh yeah. No, I can't start off with plate. Yeah. Well, I'm thinking if I wanted to make it lighter and I can put points in dex, but nah, I don't want to put points in dex. She doesn't move around too much.
Yeah.
She's probably not super dexterous in high heels, so. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'll keep the scale mail and just make it that, which is technically about, if probably even cheaper than what the price you gave me for the other stuff was.
So you wanted your float. How much money do you have left?
Yeah, I was looking at it right now. So 5d4 times 10. 200 gold, so I was 100, so I have 100 plus my other gold, so. But I assume the floaty chair is just like one of those 50 gold items that are just like capability and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But also, like Ember, about that joke, like the funniest thing is that the way that dual personalities is worded, like that should work. Nobody should be able to tell the difference unless they already know that we're the same person.
So you wanted your floating chair to be like invisible, right?
Yeah, it's something that's like maybe it's like some magic item that I have sewed into like the back of my dress or something. That whenever I like whenever it lays flat or I take the sitting position, I just like float there, right?
Yeah.
Bad.
No one can like take it from me, or no one could like use it to help us in ways to like stand on it, right? It doesn't. We don't get any extra bonuses from it or anything special like that.
You don't get to like fly like past a chasm.
Yeah, no. It does. It's not. It's like a hoverboard.
So I'd say it's just like an invisible like cushion that just floats off of the ground.
Treat
Yeah,
it like
something like
Tensor's floating disc.
So yeah, it's just an enchanted cushion that floats off of the ground that away
much.
up to like
Very much a
400.
magic luxury item.
Yeah. 50 gold would probably be realistic.
If we do the same thing again, like in your, like I'm in my world, I do like a dollar as a copper, so like 50 gold's a lot of money, but I don't know how much that is in your world, right? So
Probably like a silver is $1, which would still make it like $500. But for like a invisible like cushion that flies, that's not something that is normally given. Like a commoner could probably.
Yeah, because like I think you can buy 3 apples for a copper. I did that, like, so 3 apples for $1. And yeah, like an in-stay is 2 silver, so it's like $20.
Yeah. The equivalent of this world, it would be silver.
Okay.
So like 3 apples for a silver.
Oh, okay. So you're just moving everything up.
Yeah, just up a little bit, and then like copper is like cents.
Okay.
Like 1 copper would be like 10 cents.
Yeah.
Platinum's $1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You're all rich.
I guess that means like Electrum is 50-cent pieces and no one uses them. Just like in most games.
Yeah. Isn't like Electrum supposed to be like this like foreign?
I didn't think they just added it to 5th edition for some reason. No one uses it because everyone's just like whatever. It's like it doesn't follow the same rules. Like everything's like 1 equals 10, and this one's just like 5 equals 10. It's like, why are you there? It's like, why?
Go away.
Yeah, an Electrum piece and the Platinum piece originate from Fallen Empires and Lost Kingdoms. So like Platinum is just worth more, and Electrum is like, this is weird. Why do I have this?
Yeah. Most people don't even like Platinum is still used, but once you start dealing with Platinum, you might as well start dealing with like gems.
Yeah.
Like you can get like a gem worth 10 GP, right? And then it's like that's a Platinum.
Yeah.
Lots of coins weigh money, so instead of having like a shit ton of coins, you can just have like a bunch of gems worth 100 GP each. Also, people don't understand what a gem looks like a lot of times. For some reason, they're like, "Oh yeah, I got like a gem worth like a 500 GP. It's the size of a baseball, right?" It's like, no, what? you ever seen a diamond ring before? It's that size. Tiny little diamond worth 500 GP.
Yeah, it's the size of my head. Nope. Nice try. Even then, like, why wouldn't you want it to be smaller?
Yeah, this 1000 GP gem, I use it to cast planar binding. Yeah, I know I know that in order to cast a spell, we have to use a trebuchet to throw it at the demon inside of the magic circle, but like, hey, don't worry. It's totally worth it.
I use it to cast Paperweight.
I think my character is built. I don't think I'm missing anything.
Yeah, same. But also that would be a hilarious way to cast planar binding. Yeah, it's a 1000 GP gem, but it's like a really shitty kind of gem, so it's massive for it to be that expensive, and just you have to throw it at the fucking thing to cast the spell.
How good would your character be at removing blood from people murderers? Because I think that'll be one of those things where people will need to get their blood.
In what way?
Well, so my character's gonna drink a lot of red wine mixed with blood. It's gonna be like the way they drink blood, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get blood from somewhere.
Alright, well, if you want my character to drain people's blood, he could certainly do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty simple. Just like, he attacks them, knocks them unconscious, hangs them up by their feet from the ceiling, then wakes them up, slits their throat, and just, blood pours out into a little bag, and he watches in terror as they die, and then he does all this other stuff.
Yeah. You can have like empty wine bottles, something like that.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
That can be part of his calling card right there.
Yeah, just making sure, because
reminds me of that one, like that, I don't know, episode arc of fucking Dexter where he was hunting the killer who, like drained all the blood from people's bodies.
Yeah, because my servants technically need blood too, I assume. So.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone else have like magic items in mind? Ragnar.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. I'm still doing my character sheet for spells and stuff at the moment.
Yep, that's fine. So, so Spike, how do your like retainers like function? Are they with you? Like,
Yeah. Okay, so the two girls, they don't speak at all. Their tongues have been cut out.
Oh.
Part of the yeah. But the butler whispers in my ear, like so you never hear him talk either. He just kind of like comes up behind me and whispers in my ear, and I nod, and then I say something. Yeah.
Yeah. They're on your sheet, aren't they? So I could probably make tokens of them if needed.
Yeah, I have tokens for them. Show me to send to you.
Yes, please.
Should.
And a subfolder, companions.
Yes, I do.
I love Fooprat.
What?
What a good name. The randomly generated name for Ragnar's character. Fooprat Fragiffa.
Boop rat.
I just made it like that so it's easier to roleplay.